Hi guys. I promised you guys a video about the AI. I was working on this in between when I got bored of the airlock not working in my previous video. Um, as you can see, there's two ships that have just followed me here. You'll also see the pathways they're trying to take to get to me. Pathfinding is a really difficult thing to do, especially in 3D space where, well, with ships that can fly up and down, etc. Um, I was very lucky and fortunate that there was already a developer that created a plugin um, called Don's 3D Pathfinding for Flying AI for Unreal. Um, the only problem was that he seemed to have stopped development on it, but um, it was only a small issue because I could easily import his plugin into the newer versions of Unreal Engine. Um, so yeah, check him out. Um, really cool that this guy would just give away his plugin with advanced pathfinding, or I find it advanced. What he basically does is he divides the entire world up into cubes, and then he checks what's the shortest distance in cube size for the ships or any flying thing to reach its target. Um, of course, there's other things I need to still fix. For instance, these guys are stuck now on each other. They're not detecting each other. They're only detecting static objects in the world. So that'll have to be fixed sometime. Let's see if I can loosen them. But yeah, there's also other actual AI behaviors that need to be added. Um, like, for instance, in a dogfight, they shouldn't be. Let me just restart this so you guys can see. In a dogfight, I don't want the other ships to be pathfinding. That's too slow because pathfinding is for exact flying. So there you can see they're following that point where I used to be. Um, now they're following that point. Unless they can literally pathfind every second, but there are some issues with that as well. Unforeseen issues. Another thing is currently flying up or down towards me, because we are limited with going at 60 degrees up and 60 degrees down. You can see I'm not aiming straight down. I'm aiming at about 60 degrees. That makes it hard for them to reach goals that are right above them. So I've added upwards thrust for them so they can get to something with upwards thrust. But in an example like this, if I hide under here, they won't be able to get here because they'll get stuck on the edge. I stand corrected. There are some, for instance, if I hide here, they shouldn't be able to get. Yeah, there they got stuck on the edge because they're trying to fly. They're going up too quickly, and then they get stuck right as they're about to turn. Now they should be able. Nope. Anyway, there's all these tolerances and things. For instance, they don't go straight towards a point right now. They kind of, I set a point as reached when they're within 2 meters of it currently, because otherwise they get slow. I use something called a PID controller, which is just a fancy formula for calculating how close an object is to its target. So you can see them slowing down as they get close to the targets. That's the PID formula working and slowing them down. Otherwise, they'd go full speed and pass their targets if they, okay, for instance, there. I don't know if that was lag, but normally they would slow down as they get to their target. PID controllers get used in drones as well. So you'll see some of my other videos are me flying drones. So PID controller would kind of fix errors in, for instance, one motor being slower than the rest, or wind blowing the drone sideways, things like that. So the PID controller will give more power to a motor that is actually slower than the rest, or less power to the other motors to keep the drone stable, for instance. Also, PID controllers you can set what the rate of change is that you want. So, well, I might be messing this up for those of you who are more technically minded. But basically, the P term in the PID is what controls how much force is put into correcting your current state. So if my height was 100 meters, but the the other ship's height was 0 meters, the P would determine how quickly it tries to reach 100 meters from 0 meters. And then the I term is for outside forces, which you don't really get here except if you bump into another ship. So I is set to 0. And then the D term is the slowdown. So how quickly they slow down before they reach their destination. You can see them slowing down again there. Cool. I think that covers it. I just wanted to show some of the AI. This is still just pathfinding, not actual AI logic. They're not actually making any decisions except every 5 or 6 seconds find me and fly towards me again. So no real logic other than that yet. But that is something that's on the back burner, so it's not something I'm going to work on immediately. Yeah, I'll work on it as I go, or when I'm bored of my current features or not getting anywhere. Sometimes it helps to work on something else. So then I'll probably work on this. The idea is to have natural looking ships, because currently they don't look like players necessarily. So it's eerie how they follow me. They're a bit slow, so I'll have to tweak quite a bit, and they'll have different behaviors depending on which circumstances there are. Like dogfights, they need to be more aggressive. Okay, thanks again for tuning in for my second video of the day, and like, subscribe, all that other stuff. And I hope to hear from you if you have any suggestions, anything you'd like to see. I'll consider it. Cool. Cheerio.